Hello everyone. While studying many of the chemical problems or in chemistry, we often use the term oxidation number or oxidation state. So in many of these inorganic compounds, we often use these terms oxidation state, oxidation state. And even in redox reaction, the whole redox reaction is based on the concept of change in oxidation number or the oxidation state. Now the question arises, what is the meaning of this oxidation number or oxidation state, and how do we define the oxidation state of different atoms present in a given compound? So during the course of reaction, either loss or gain of electron is taking place. As the loss or gain of electron takes place, there is change in oxidation number or the oxidation state of the combining atoms or the elements. So we have to define what exactly is the oxidation number or the oxidation state, and how do we define this oxidation state. So आज का जो discussion है that is based on oxidation number or oxidation state. So the heading for this discussion is oxidation state or oxidation number. So before proceeding further with this, let's define what is the meaning of this oxidation state or oxidation number. What exactly is oxidation number? Now, in any given compound, the particular combining atom, the charge carried by a particular combining atom in a given molecule or in a given ion, that ion or the charge carried by that particular element in that particular form is what we call as oxidation number or oxidation state. So that represents the state of that particular element in that particular combined form. Now we have to define that oxidation number or oxidation state. So this is nothing but the charge on a combining atom in a given molecule or in a given ionic species. This will define whether this charge may be zero or may be negative or may be positive. But this oxidation number cannot be a fractional value. This is always an integer. This may have positive value, this may have a negative value, or this may have a zero value. So let's see what is or how to write this oxidation number, or that is calculation of oxidation number of oxidation state or oxidation number. Now to define the oxidation state or the oxidation number of a combining atom, we have to follow certain set of rules. By use of these rules, we can easily determine the oxidation number or the oxidation state of that particular atom. So we have to follow these certain sets of rules. So rule number one. So before actually defining this oxidation state, let me give you a brief idea of the rules that to be followed while determining the oxidation state of that particular combining atom. So the rule number one says all elemental states, all atoms and elemental state, whether this is monoatomic or diatomic or polyatomic, the oxidation state is always zero. So oxidation state of all elements and elemental state is always zero. So the oxidation state of all elements in their elemental state is always zero. Let's see this example. So sodium, elemental state, sodium state, oxidation state is zero. We have looked at this magnesium, metal, elemental state, magnesium solid, elemental state, oxidation state is zero. We have looked at this iron, again elemental state, oxidation number is zero. All these are monoatomic. We can have look at this hydrogen, elemental state, H2. The oxidation state is again zero. Elemental state chlorine, 0. Bromine liquid elemental state 0. phosphorus P4 elemental state, all phosphorus are in zero oxidation state. Sulfur elemental state S8, oxidation state is 0. Oxygen elemental state 0. So all elements in their pure elemental state, the oxidation state is always 0. This is for all elements in their elemental state. Number 2. Now, alkali metals, all alkali metals in their combined state will have an oxidation state of +1. The reason being, alkali metals contains one electron in the valency shell, so by losing this one electron, forming cation gives you the noble gas configuration. So rule says all alkali metals in combined state, all alkali metals in combined state has +1 oxidation state. So as I told you the reason, alkali metals, due to the presence of one electron in the valency shell s orbital, by losing this one electron, this gets converted into cation, and that cation is having noble gas configuration. So that means alkali metals. So lithium in combined state will have +1, sodium in combined state will have +1, potassium +1, rubidium +1, cesium +1. So all these elements of alkali metals, when this is being combined with another element, this will always exist, shows a positive oxidation state of +1. Rule number 3. All alkaline earth metals, that is group 2 metals, in their combined state will always show +2 oxidation state. So if you look at this electronic configuration of alkaline earth metals, they have 2 electrons in the valency shell s orbital. So by losing these 2 electrons, they gets converted into cation having 2 positive charge, and that cation is again having noble gas configuration. So because of this, all alkaline earth metal will show +2 oxidation state in their combined state. This is the fixed oxidation state for all alkaline earth metals. So all alkaline earth metals in combined state has +2 oxidation state. So we have looked at this: beryllium +2, magnesium +2, calcium +2, strontium +2, barium +2. So all these alkaline earth metal will have +2 oxidation state in their combined form. Number 4, we take these halogens. Halogens, when this combines, the most stable oxidation state of halogens, as a halide, they have -1 oxidation state. Halogens in combined state, halogens in combined state has -1 oxidation state, except when it combines with more electronegative element or interhalogens. So except this interhalogens, or when this halogen combines with the more electronegative atom, all these halogens will show -1 oxidation state, and this -1 oxidation state is what we call as halide ions. So in all these halide ions, we have negative 1 oxidation state. So we have look at this halide ions, and this is given as X minus. So we have look at this fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide. These are the halide ions. So except this fluorine, this chlorine, bromine, iodine, when it combines with more electronegative atoms or when it is interhalogens, will show positive oxidation state. Fluorine shows only one oxidation state. The reason being, fluorine is the most electronegative atom. So this is the reason. Except this fluorine, the rest of these halogens, chlorine, bromine, iodine, shows -1 as well as positive oxidation state. So for this fluorine, only oxidation state. So the only oxidation state is -1 because it is most electronegative atom, most electronegative. Whereas this Cl-Bri minus, as I told you, this Cl-Bri along with this -1 oxidation state can also show positive oxidation state, provided when it is combined with more electronegative or interhalogens. So this Cl-Bri can show -1. This is the most common. This can also +1. This can also show +3. This can have +5. This can also have +7. To this +1, +3, +5, +7 oxidation state of chlorine, bromine, iodine is when these elements combined with more electronegative, that is oxygen, or when this is in the form of interhalogens. Means if this combines with another halogen, then this may change this oxidation number to +1, +3, +5 or +7. So let me give an example. In IF7, iodine heptafluoride. Now look at this. Fluorine is more electronegative than iron. So we have fluorine. The only oxidation state is -1. So fluorine has got -1. So how many fluorine? We have 7. The total negative charge is -7. So the total positive charge on iodine will be +7. So in this IF7, iodine is +7 oxidation state and fluorine is -1. That is the only oxidation state of fluorine. So in case of fluorine, we have only one oxidation state. The rest of these halogens, chlorine, bromine, can have -1, +1, +3, +5, +7 oxidation states. So this is for halogens. Now let's take the case of hydrogens. These hydrogen can have different oxidation state. Elemental state, we have 0 oxidation state. When this hydrogen combines with metal, all these hydrogens will have -1 oxidation state. When combined with metals, so hydrogen when combined with metals has -1 oxidation state, and this -1 oxidation state, that is H minus. So H minus is known as hydride ion. So when hydrogen combines with metal, metals are electropositive, hydrogen is electronegative. So the electronegative atom hydrogen will acquire -1 oxidation state, that is hydride ion. So in hydride ion, hydrogen is -1 oxidation state. So look at this. We have sodium hydride, as we have shown earlier. This is alkali metal. So this is +1. So hydrogen is -1. We take this calcium hydride. Calcium is +2. Hydrogen is -2. So when it combines with metal, this shows -1 oxidation state. But when it combines with non-metals, with higher electronegativity, when combined with non-metals, has +1 oxidation state. So take this H2O. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so hydrogen is +1 here. HCl, chlorine is more electronegative than hydrogen, so hydrogen is +1. H2SO4, hydrogen is bonded to oxygen, so hydrogen is +1. So whenever we have this hydrogen attached to more electronegative non-metals, the oxidation state of hydrogen is +1. So hydrogen shows +1 and -1. But when this is bonded to metals, which is known as hydride ion, so hydrogen will have -1 oxidation state. But if this is bonded to non-metals with more electronegative than hydrogen, then the charge on hydrogen will be +1. So this is the case of hydrogen. Next, look at this oxygen. We know oxygen is second most electronegative atom. So with this oxygen can have different oxidation state. So the most common oxidation state of oxygen is -2. So this shows most common is -2. So that means oxygen with 2-, this is known as oxide ion. So oxide ion. So in oxide ion, the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. In all oxide ions, oxygen will have a -2 oxidation. So whenever we use the term oxide, so oxide means O with 2 negatively charged ion. This is known as oxide ion. So in oxide ion, the oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Take this. We have sodium oxide. So this is O2. Calcium oxide, O2. Fe2O3, iron oxide. Oxygen is -2 here. Take this. Aluminium oxide. Oxide is -2 here. So in all oxides, oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Then we have in peroxides. In peroxides, oxidation state is -1. O2, 2- ion. This is known as peroxide ion. Peroxide ion. So O2 with 2 negative charge. This is known as peroxide ion. And in this peroxide ion, we have 2 oxygen. For this 2 oxygen, total charge is -2. So per oxygen, oxidation state is -1. Don't forget this. This is the total charge of 2 oxygen. So per oxygen charge will be -1. So peroxide ion is O2 2-, and the oxidation state of peroxide oxygen is -1. So take this example. Sodium peroxide. So sodium peroxide, this is O2 2-. So this is -1 oxidation state. Barium peroxide, BO2. So this is again -1 oxidation state. Hydrogen peroxide, so oxygen is -1. So whenever we have this peroxide ion, in peroxide ion, oxidation state of oxygen is -1. So this peroxide is this OO, -1, -1. We have 2 oxygen, 2 negative. So per oxygen is -1 oxidation state. Then we have superoxides. Superoxides. In superoxides, the oxidation state is -1/2. So superoxide is O2 -1. We have 2 oxygen. This is known as superoxide. So in superoxide, we have 2 oxygen. For this 2 oxygen, charge is -1. So per oxygen charges is -1/2. Take this example. KO2, potassium superoxide. So this is -1. So oxygen is -1/2 here. So we have 2 oxygen -1, 2 oxygen -1. So per oxygen is -1/2. We can have a look at this. rubidium superoxide, again this is minus half. So in superoxides we have minus half, that is anion is O2 with 1 negative. When this is combined with fluorine, O2F2, in O2F2, look at this, fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen, so fluorine is minus 1, so there are 2 negative charge. So for these 2 negative charge we should have 2 positive charge, so per oxygen charge will be plus 1. So when oxygen combines with fluorine in O2F2, oxygen is plus 1, or this OF2, in OF2 fluorine is minus 1, so where total negative charge is minus 2, so total positive charge should be plus 2. So except this, when oxygen combines with fluorine, when it have plus 1 or plus 2 oxidation state, except this, oxygen will have minus 1 minus oxidation state, and the minus oxidation state depends on whether this is oxide, normal oxide, minus 2 oxidation state, or when we have this peroxide, minus 1 oxidation state, or when we have superoxide, the oxidation state is minus 2. So this is some of the charges that could be possible when this oxygen present as a combined state. Rule number 5. Now we have a particular species, whether this is a neutral species or a positively charged species or a negatively charged species. The sum of the oxidation states of all the atoms present in the species will always be equals to the total charge carried by the species. If this is a neutral charge, neutrally charged species, so charge will be 0. If this is anion, we will have a negative charge. If this is a cation, we will have a positive charge. So rule number 5 says a sum of oxidation states of all the components, sum of the oxidation states of all the components will be equal to the charge on the species. So suppose we have a 3 combining atoms, the summation of the oxidation state of these 3 combining atoms will always be equals to the total charge carried by this species. So let me give this example. Let's take this KMnO4. We have 3 combining atoms, K, Mn and oxygen. If suppose the oxidation state of K is, this is X, M is Y, oxygen is Z, then the rule says X plus Y plus 4 times Z. This is the meaning of the summation of the oxidation states of all the elements, atoms present. Now KMnO4 is a neutral, so this will be equals to 0. Or suppose this is take this ClO4 minus. Suppose we have this ClO4 minus. So ClO4 minus, we have these combining atoms Cl and 4 oxygen, and for this a negative charge is there. So let's suppose the oxidation state of Cl is X and that of oxygen is Y. Then rule says X times plus 4 times Y. This is the total oxidation state of 4 oxygen plus 1 chlorine. So this is equals to minus 1 because this species carries minus 1. So look at this, Cr2O7 2 minus. So let's suppose the oxidation state of chromium. Chromium is X, oxygen is Y. Then the rule says 2 times X because we have 2 chromium. So X being the oxidation state of 1 chromium. So for 2 chromium we have twice X. Y is the oxidation state of oxygen. So there are 7 oxygen. So we have 7 times Y. This is equals to the total charge on this species minus 2. So summation of the oxidation states of all the components present in a particular species is always equals to the total charge carried by the species. So by use of this, we can easily define the oxidation state of some unknown species. Now after this, let me give you some common ions, name of some common ions, because in writing the formula or many of the times ions may be given to you, and from this ion we should know what is the name of that ion, and if name of the ion is given, what is our composition. So look at this, H minus, we say this is hydride ion. H plus proton, S minus 2 sulfide ion, HS minus hydrogen sulfide, SO3 2 minus sulfide ion, SO4 2 minus sulfate ion, SO3 2 minus thiosulfate ion, H4 O6 2 minus persulfate ion. Similarly, we can look at this, O2 minus oxide, O2 2 minus peroxide, O2 minus 1 superoxide, then we have look at this, Cl minus chloride ion, Br minus bromide, I minus iodide, F minus fluoride, ClO3 minus chloride ion, ClO4 minus perchlorate ion, IO4 minus periodate, we have look at this, N3 minus nitride, N3 minus 1 azide, and NO2 minus nitrite, NO3 minus nitrate, is such a we have P3 minus phosphide ion, PO4 3 minus phosphate ion, we have look at this, MnO4 minus permanganate ion, MnO4 2 minus manganate ion, CrO4 2 minus chromate ion, Cr2O7 2 minus dichromate, Cu plus cuprous ion, Cu plus 2 cupric Fe plus 2 ferrous, Fe plus 3 ferric, Hg2 2 plus mercurous, Hg2 plus mercuric ion. So we have NH4 with positive, ammonium, N2H4 H 5 plus hydrazinium, ion. So this just a look at this, we can have some common ions. These are the names of some common ions. There are many other names which is not possible to give all these. So I'm just giving you some common ions and their names. Because by use of this we can easily define the formula of the compound. If suppose we are asked to write the formula of a compound whose name is given as potassium periodate, then you should know what is the meaning of periodate. So periodate is IO4 minus. So by use of this we can define the formula. Now next rule. Now if suppose we are having a covalently bonded compound, for covalently bonded compounds the more electronegative atom is assigned negative oxidation state and the less electronegative atom is assigned positive oxidation state. So for covalent molecules, more electronegative atom is assigned negative oxidation state, whereas less electronegative atom is assigned positive oxidation state. Means this is the case when we have covalently bonded compounds. So now let's take this case, NH3. So now in this NH3 we have nitrogen and hydrogen. So hydrogen is less electronegative than nitrogen. So now look at this, if this nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen, then the shared pair of electrons will be shifted more towards nitrogen. So when electron is shifted towards nitrogen, so nitrogen will acquire negative charge, hydrogen will acquire positive. So each pair of electron that is being shared between 3 nitrogen-hydrogen bonds will be shifted more towards nitrogen. So for every electron that is being withdrawn by electronegative atom, 1 negative charge. So since we have 3 nitrogen-hydrogen bonds and each electron is being withdrawn towards the nitrogen, so in this nitrogen will be assigned -3, hydrogen is assigned +1. So we have total 3 plus and 3 negative. Similarly, take this, we have CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Now look at this, chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. So when we say chlorine is more electronegative than carbon, the shared pair of electrons will be withdrawn towards chlorine. So each electron that is being shared between carbon and chlorine will be withdrawn by chlorine. So chlorine will acquire -1. So if chlorine acquires -1, there are 4 Cl. So 4 Cl means 4 minus, so carbon will have plus for oxidation state. So this is when we have covalently bonded molecules. So these are some of the rules that we have to use for defining oxidation state of any given atom. So let's see how we apply this to define the oxidation state of a given particular component in a big compound substance.